Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Las Vegas-based heavyweight contender. It is, of course, the main man himself, Mr. Michael Hunter. Mike, welcome back on the show, my man.
Thank you. What's going on? Glad to be here.
Glad to have you back, Mike. Glad to have you back. So we last spoke back in early April. So, it hasn't been that long, to be honest. A lot has happened, though, since then for yourself, for the heavyweight division, the landscape of it. At the time when we last spoke, you promised that there would be big fight news for yourself in the near future. You teased us at the time. You, of course, were referring to a fight against Cassius Chaney in Florida. Fast forward a few weeks, and, of course, you won that fight unanimously over 10. Talk me through the fight, Mike.
Mm-hmm. I didn't have a lot of adversity to come through. I started off, downstairs, and basically I threw mostly body shots the whole fight. And, Cassius was a little, frozen. And, I just think that was, I think he was just over his head, and just that's how it ended up being.
And obviously, you say there, you set a high pace. I've never seen you go to the body so many times. Was that all part of a strategy, Mike?
Yeah, but I wasn't meaning to go to the body that much as I did, because I was expecting him to engage at some point. But you just gotta adjust. So, and he was protecting his head very well. He's a big, strong dude. He could still be. He was a still live dog at any point in that fight. He just, we held him off until then. So.
And Cassius Chaney's a friend of the show. He's a cool guy, but I personally was very surprised that he seemed to stay in a shell for almost the whole fight, Mike. You talk about his lack of engagement. At times, he just didn't want to commit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that had a lot to do with the movement and, the body work in the very beginning. A lot of the times, the heavyweights, they don't have a lot of body movement, or, it's a different type of game. So I think that, he just seemed just a different level of experience. That's all.
And also, what happened on the ring walk? Did they mess your music up or something, Mike?
Yeah, they were just a little late on putting it out. Yeah, I think they put out a different song at first. And I told them I wasn't ready, and that wasn't my song. So I was able to, hold them off until they did put on my song. Luckily, everything worked out.
And am I right in saying that you're now signed with Don King?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because when we had you on last time, obviously, I don't think you mentioned that. It was probably part of all of the news, what would have been happening with you. What can you tell us about that? What can you tell us about that agreement, Mike?
Well, I mean, as you can see, he's already gotten my titles back with the WBA, so I'll be fighting with him for right now. I have a few fights with him. I think maybe four left.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously the WBA, they're going to be releasing their rankings in the next few days. You were previously ranked number 8. Chaney was ranked number 7. Where do you expect to be? Surely you're going to move up, move up a few places.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I'll be rated high. Don has a great relationship with them over there. And, he fought for my position. I was already number 1, so... I think it was great that they honored, me, being back in my original spot at some point, or getting the opportunity. So, I think that they'll be starting to rate me high the more I win.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why it's a good thing that you picked up the WBA gold title the other week. Yeah, what is the plan, Mike? You said there that you've got like 4 fights left with Don. That's obviously quite a long-term commitment there. What is the plan? When do you want to fight next, or when will you be fighting next?
I'm hoping to fight maybe in August. Just talking, to the people. I'm hoping to try to fight in August, and yeah, that's it right now. If not, I'll be fighting. I'm definitely going to be fighting one more time this year, but I would like to get 2 more fights before it's all over this year.
And is there any names, or is it just whoever Don decides on?
Well, I would like the winner out of Big Baby and Martin Bakole.
Okay,
that would be nice. But we're looking to have that belt that Emmanuel Char has, so I think that that's an option as well. So there's a few fights out there that could be worked out. So
okay,
we're just gonna touch them all.
Okay, you mentioned there Jared Anderson and Martin Bakole. I've seen that Jared Anderson is the favourite with the bookies for that fight. What is your take on that fight? How do you see that one unfolding, Mike?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting fight because this is definitely a step up, obviously, for Anderson. But Anderson is a favorite, So we all do know that Anderson is athletic and has certain capabilities. Excuse me. So, he's very athletic, and he would have the upper hand when it comes to the boxing skill. But there's a lot of, aspects to fighting. So I think that this is a very interesting fight. I'm not really sure who wins, but I think Bakole gives him definitely some issues at some point.
Okay. Again, since we last spoke, we saw the undisputed fight. I wanted to get your reaction as well to Fury Usyk. I can't remember what your pick was beforehand now, but what did you make of the fight?
I thought the fight was exactly what it was supposed to be. That it would be a very close fight, but somebody would have the upper hand, and that would be Usyk. Usyk would be consistently winning throughout the fight, winning the story, and that's what he did.
And also, Wilder Zhang, I do want to get your reaction to that. A few years ago, I certainly didn't rate Zhang at all, but he's really proved me wrong. He's getting older and older, but he's getting better and better, it would appear. Yeah, I want to get your reaction to that, because I think there's a lot of people that probably saw Wilder still as the best heavyweight in America. I don't know if anyone still feels that way, though. You might have took his spot now in everyone's mind.
I like what you said. A lot of people jumping on Deontay Wilder being over and, he's crap now. But really Zhang did a really awesome job. He fought different than I thought he would. He usually sits back, but he walked right to him. And he dealt with him like he was an experienced southpaw. How an experienced southpaw would deal with a fighter like that, and that's exactly what he did. He stuck right to the code, and it worked like a charm. So I have to tip my hat off to Zhang because he's been around. And he's always had a good backhand, even when he was when we were all in the amateurs together. And, yeah, we got to tip his hat off to him because he performed. It wasn't that the lack of Deontay Wilder. It was just Zhang has been getting better and progressing as these fights have been coming along.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, that's some good analysis, Mike. Just before we let you go, that's all I've got for you, my friends. So if you want to just sign out with some closing words to the listeners, you know that you do tons of interviews with tons of channels, tons of podcasts, but this is your home.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, BoxHard. I really appreciate y'all for having me on the show. Anytime you want to talk boxing, I'm always here.
There we go. Listen, Mike, as always, the pleasure's mine. Thank you for your time, and we'll speak again soon.
Yeah, thank you.